Everyone knows, everyone grows a little day by day on their own. Everyone dreams, everyone leaves, out of your hands got no control.
Growing up in Tuam, we were very lucky to have a man called Danny Kelly running the brass band, and he was ably assisted by Father Fitzsimons, and they decided that when the football days were over for the summer, they were wondering what to do with gangs of lads, so they resurrected the Tuam Brass Band, who had been going from, I suppose, the late 40s, 50s, but then, like everything else, moved on. But a lot of things came through the brass band. We got a good grounding in musical education, and quite a lot of us were happy to say that we went on in our lives and made a career out of the music, thanks mainly to our friend Danny Kelly Senior, as we would call him, or Old Dan as he was known. And he, in turn, his son, young Danny, came along and he took up the mantle years later. But out of that brass band came a lot of fine musicians and who eventually moved into the show band scene. And Tuam was always well respected in Tuam for having good show bands. And I give a lot of the credit to the fact that they came through the brass band.
In Tuam there was a live music culture going on. There was the people who were in class with me were in the brass band, and they were mad about the same kind of pop music that I was. And as well as that, the adults were in the show bands, and they were like the stars of the town at the time. The Johnny Flynn show band and the Paramount show band, who was the first live band I ever saw. One of my classmates, Paul Gaffney, took me down to the Phoenix Ballroom one day to hear the Paramount show band rehearsing, and they were doing a song called "The Night Has 1,000 Eyes," a song that we knew from the radio, and it was brilliant to hear some people playing the song live. One of the people in that band was Jimmy Higgins, who's now the DJ on Co.Galway FM radio station.
The first time I became aware of local people writing songs was we used to have a session down in the local pub in Tuam called the Square Inn, and Joe Stevens was writing songs, and Kevin Dwyer had a song called the Square Inn Backroom Boys, and they would have been influenced by Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie, etc.
And but I remember once, way back in the 70s, I was the only songwriter that I knew, and I was delighted with myself, and I thought it was great, like, you know. I thought I was the only one who could do it. There was nobody else doing it. And as I said in another song, it was good for the viewers, you know. Very bad. But and this young fella came up to me one day, a few years after a while. These guys came around, Paul Caniff, and they were down there, and Leo was there, and Leo said, "Joe, show me a few chords, you know." And show him a few chords, like, you know, they were one of the young lads, like. And then this fella came in, Paul Caniff, you know, he was just full of beans, you know, and he was sitting down there, and he started singing a song, and it's like, "Jenny Max, that's a brilliant song." Like, I not really know what song it was, like, but I got a bit of a shock, right? Because I thought, gee, this fella's a fantastic songwriter, you know.
Wanna be there when they hand out the favors, cycle the sky, deliver the papers. 'Cause everybody's got a dream. Doesn't matter just how far away it seems. Skid into town on a chocolate Lambretta.
Been a big fan of Tuam music for forever, really. The uncles were in show bands. We always heard about that growing up. Seeing Mousy McHugh on the back of a truck in the square, playing with Too Much of the White Man. Thought he was a legend, which he still is. Seeing the Saw Doctors down in Quinns, doing a session there. So basically, I'd be a big fan of Tuam music. I kind of play everybody else's songs at some stage or another, but no one plays mine. But that's probably a good thing.
I remember in the early days of the Saw Doctors, watching a film with Leo, filmed by a very good Irish filmmaker called John T. Davis. It was called Route 66. And in that they interviewed the songwriter who had written that wonderful song, Get Your Kicks on Route 66. And Leo said to me, he said, what's the Galway road out there? What's the name of that road? I said, yeah, I don't know what it's called. So he said, I'll check it out. And he came back, he said, it's called the N17. He said, if they can write a song about Route 66 in America, surely we can write a song about the N17. So he did, and the rest is history.
Writing your own song is, you're bringing something new to the world, you're adding something, whereas playing someone else's song, you're really just, you're not bringing anything new, you're helping other people's ideas to get around, but it's so much more satisfying and dangerous to share your own ideas and emotions.
There is no buzz in the world like writing a new song. Like once you get it together, there's nothing like it. And I think anyone that you ask, especially anyone around the Tuam area, because Tuam is class for songwriters and bands, and always has been, whether it's show bands or whatever, always has been. And I think if you ask them, the best buzz is to write your own song and get people to recognise it and sing it.
When you look back, and there was people like Porrick Stevens and Joe Stevens and Blaze X writing their own songs, and for those songs to work and for them to have been popular and remembered, I suppose that's been a great inspiration to everybody else, including myself. And there is that ambition there to write songs, and I'm just so delighted to see the new crop, like with the Kuniks and the Wraiths, writing loads of great songs and doing loads of gigs and tackling it with that kind of enthusiasm. It's brilliant.
I'd say the main reason why we started writing songs is probably the Saw Doctors initially. I suppose you're going to school and that, like, I suppose first year, second year of school like that, maybe younger, like even you start listening to the Saw Doctors and songs about your town, and just relate to them, just get on the buzz, and you just probably listen to every single song they ever did. Then you think, if they can do it, why not? Not that everyone can write songs, like, but you give it a go. We started as well, kind of, with Stone Lakes, we're just after kind of recording their album as well. We used to go in, listen to them nearly every Monday night, the Old Brogue. And the first song we ever wrote, just a spoof song about the town. And Dan Trears used to get us up to sing it, and it was a buzz, like. After that, I suppose we started writing a few more tunes. We thought maybe, yeah, people are liking that song. Let's give it a go.